Welcome to OMT Wired Up, Online Money Talks, a podcasting session that discusses internet marketing strategies on how to make money and turn ideas into cash online. And now, here's the host of OMT Wired Up, Ivan Ho.
Welcome to OMT Wired Up, where we talk about tips and strategies on how to make money and succeed online. I'm your host, Ivan Ho, and today we're going to talk about the importance of building an email list. This truly is the bread and butter to succeeding online. For those that have listened to my previous podcast, I've mentioned that there are 3 pillars to internet success, and those pillars are knowing how to generate traffic, knowing how to monetize your site, and knowing how to create a large audience base. If you can integrate all 3 of these components together, you can become very successful with your online business. Out of the 3, cultivating a large audience base really is the crown jewel to making money online. If you can successfully do just that, you can potentially have access to an endless supply of wealth. Now, one of the ways to cultivate an audience base is by collecting emails. Emails are a great way to communicate to people with your information. If you are writing content and you think that the content has something good to offer, sending it through email is a great way to get your followers to read it. Now, most of the big online gurus have a very big email list. Many of them have lists that have over 1 million people on it, and they use this list to make the bulk of their money. Whenever they have a product or they come across a good promotion or offer in which they can get a commission for, all they do is write up a good email and send it to their list. And because they've already established a trusting relationship with their audience, thousands of people will purchase what they are selling. Instant megabucks, right? I mean, let's just do the math. Let's say they get paid $100 on a commission for each purchase made by someone on their list. By sending their message to 1 million people or sending an offer to 1 million people, if just 1% makes a purchase, which would be around 10,000 people, they would have just pocketed $1 million, right? 100 times 10,000. If only 0.1% makes a purchase, which is just 1,000 people, they would have pocketed $100,000. And this is why you hear about people making so much money online. This is where you can find the goose to lay that golden egg. So, for those of you thinking about getting rich online, you should definitely focus on collecting emails and building a gigantic list. The bigger your list, the more money you will make. Okay, so what is the process to creating and building an email list? Well, the conventional online way is to attract people to a landing page or squeeze page where something free is offered in exchange for that person's email. Usually you will find people offering an ebook of some sort or a newsletter subscription in exchange for an email. Then what most online marketers do is find ways to drive a lot of relevant traffic to that landing or squeeze page. By doing this, and as people opt in for their free offer, they begin to build their list. Now, aggressive online marketers will sometimes put up 10 to 20 of these landing pages all over the internet to build their lists as fast as they can. And it is definitely a great method, but a word of caution. If you're thinking of using this approach, because what most experts won't tell you is that you need to put aside a good sum of cash to do this. Most experts just say, put up a squeeze page, drive traffic to the squeeze page, and collect emails, right? Well, not necessarily. The question is how. How can you generate traffic with just a single page landing page when it is very difficult for that page to get ranked on search engines? your page might get ranked for lesser competitive keywords, but as we know, lesser competitive keyword gets very little traffic. And because it's only one page, you don't have enough content on your landing page to compete with the more competitive ones that actually brings in traffic. So what do? And unless you are very experienced at using social media, it is very tough to get traction from social platforms. So the only viable way to really get relevant traffic to a one-page landing page is to use money and buy a boatload of ads. Whether it be Google PPC ads, or buying banner ads on popular websites, or Facebook ads, this is the way to do it. This is what other experts won't tell you about, because it is actually a very expensive way of doing things. You need a lot of money, especially if you set up 10 or 20 landing pages. But if money is not an issue for you, and you know how to advertise online, because there is a method, there is a way, you can definitely have a huge list in just a matter of months, maybe even weeks. So, if you're thinking of employing this method, make sure you have some deep pockets. Make sure you study and learn how to set up your ad campaigns properly. Now, with money aside, there are also some other things you should know in order to put together a successful email collecting campaign. First, make sure you focus on building lists in a popular niche. It doesn't have to be one of the really gigantic niches like health and fitness or making money, but make sure there is a good size. It is a good size niche with lots of people, because the bigger the pool, the more emails you can collect. Now, some people will tell you to try and build a list for small, very targeted niches, because most of the times those niches could have higher conversions, which is fine. But I believe that traffic for small niches tend to drop faster, and it could be tough pitching offers to the same people over and over again. So my advice would be to go after medium to large niches so that it is easier for you to build a bigger list. Second, make sure you have something good and relevant to give away. If it is an ebook, then make sure that ebook is a great, fantastic, awesome ebook filled with great information that can offer something of value to people. This turns around and builds your credibility and your trust with your audience, and you need this trust in order for you to sell things to them later on. The third thing, try to create and design your landing page or squeeze page so that it doesn't look like the regular generic squeeze pages that you already are seeing online. People are actually quite wary and cautious about these types of pages already, because many people have been burnt by a lot of those squeeze pages before, with like really crappy giveaways and a ton of upsells forcing people to buy. So if your page looks like one of those aforementioned crappy squeeze pages, you'll find your email opt-in rate to be very low, even if your offer or even the thing that you're offering is something awesome and you're giving it away for free. Stick with squeeze pages or landing pages that don't look like your usual typical squeeze page. Instead, create a landing page that can make your viewers or your followers sink their teeth in. Like, have an intro video describing your free offer, or why you would like to why you are giving something away for free. Have lots of content written on that page that talks about the specific issues your offer will address. Put up your own pictures on the landing page so that people will know that there is a real person behind this offer. Add anything you can onto your page that induces trust. If you'd like to get some really nice looking landing pages or check out pretty cool landing pages, you can take a look at a site called landing page templates. They have like 250 really cool looking landing pages you can choose from. So if you're interested, I will leave the link to that website in the show notes below. Now, if you don't have a lot of cash on hand, but you're willing to build your business and email list up slowly, I suggest the best way to do it is to start with a blog. With a blog, you can create a lot of content, and through time, your blog and your blog posts will start to get picked up by search engines and by social platforms. Within your blog, you should create the landing page and have lots of anchor text and banners directing people to your free offer and get them to opt in. I mean, that should be your first focus and your first purpose. If you're using WordPress, you can easily set up an offer and an opt-in box in the widget section, which then will appear on every page of your blog. So no matter where people are browsing at, they can have a chance to opt in and get your free offer. If you would like an example of this, you can check out my website, www.omtwiredup.com. And if you go and click on the ebook image, it will take you to my landing page. So you can get an example of that as well. I honestly like going with a blog myself because it is less expensive and it creates more stability in the long run. Plus, with content for people to browse around, it is easier to create that authority and trust that you need with your followers. Now, if you also have some cash lying around, then I definitely encourage you to incorporate the use of paid ads and drive traffic to your blog that way as well. The more avenues you have to find traffic, the faster you can build up your email list. Another word of advice: if you plan on playing with paid ads, make sure you know how to calculate ROI, which is return on investment. If you want to minimize your costs, make sure how to calculate what you're making on the back end so that you can minimize your advertising costs. If you want to learn about ROI, you can go and read my blog post about it. I will also leave that link in the show notes as well. Now, once you have your campaign set up to collect emails, make sure to implement a good autoresponder. So for those that don't know what an autoresponder is, quite simply, it is just a piece of software that enables you to send emails to people automatically. You can set up a sequence of pre-written emails that are sent out to your followers at regular intervals. The emails you collect go into a database that is usually stored on a autoresponder support platform. And once the email enters the database, your followers can receive a series of pre-written emails that you've got set up. It makes life a lot easier to use an automated system to send a welcome email to your followers rather than you doing it by yourself, one by one, each time someone opts in. So, I would encourage you to go set up a good autoresponder and do a whole series of pre-written emails with good information and products to sell that goes out to your audience automatically at different times of the month. There are some really good autoresponders to choose from, like Aweber, Constant Contact, and GetResponse. I have been personally using GetResponse for 5-6 years now, and I find that their inbox rate is a lot higher than the rest. I think that is quite important because you don't want your emails always ending up in people's junk or spam folder. Plus, GetResponse has a lot of cool management tools you can use to make your emails look really, really good. And the price for using GetResponse is actually really, really cheap, cheaper than the rest. So if you want my opinion, go with GetResponse. I'll leave a link in the show notes for those that are thinking of using them as their autoresponder. That's www.getresponse-omt.com. Okay, so the last thing I want to touch on are things to be aware of in order for you to maintain and have a good email list so that it can bring in income each time you promote an offer or sell a product. First, make sure you respect your list. Make sure to always give them a top grade stuff, no matter if it's information or promotional offers. If you are giving away a list of people really poor quality content, you're going to notice that a lot of people will start to opt out or unsubscribe from your email list. And those that you probably still have that do kind of read your emails or do open your emails will have a very low open rate. Number two, don't abuse your list. Don't send an email every single day. People don't like to see their inbox filled with like crappy emails. Spread out your emails on a weekly basis so that it doesn't annoy your followers. And don't always send them emails that ask them to buy stuff. That becomes very spammy, and people will get tired of that very quickly. And before you know it, they would have unsubscribed, and then they're off your list. And once they're off your list, you probably can't get them back again. Give your audience a bunch of free content, good content, and on occasion, give them something to buy that can be of help and of benefit to them. Number three, only sell what you believe in. Okay, and this is really important. Okay, because if you sell crap, your list will become crap very, very quickly. People very often only think of the dollar sign, so they just keep promoting anything that can help them make money. Soon, they find out that their open rate diminishes, and the ones that still open their emails are very non-responsive. So, take time and think about what you're going to send people. When you're building a list, it is really important to make sure that your list is clean, your list is engaging, because the earning potential could disappear very, very fast. And if your earning potential, if you spend all this time building up this list, it is a really, really, a sad thing to have the potential wealth leave your hands if you don't take care of your lists. So, respect your list, don't abuse it, and only sell things to your audience that you believe in. Follow these 3 rules, and I'm telling you, your email list will live very long and it will prosper. Okay? So, just a quick recap. If you're looking for a way to make money and have a long sustaining income online, you should start collecting and building a large email list immediately. If you plan on deploying a bunch of one-page landing pages, make sure you have deep pockets and make sure you learn about online advertising. It's very, very important to learn about online advertising if you're going to go down that road, because if you don't, you're going to be spending a lot of money without any results. Okay, so I encourage people that if they want to do online advertising or paid advertising, make sure you learn about it first. Also, make sure that your landing page doesn't look like a generic landing page that you see online. Fill it up with videos, good content, and images. If you're starting out and don't have a lot of money, use a blog. Build content around that blog. Bring people onto your site using search engines and online social platforms. Make sure the offer you are giving away is a great offer. That way, your opt-in conversions will be high, and you can establish good, credible relationship with your followers. Focus on a niche that has a lot of people so that the traffic can be plentiful and consistent. And remember, respect your list. Don't abuse it, and only sell or promote things you truly believe in. Okay, so let's check out my inbox for this week's question. This week we have an email from Robert Lewis. And his question is, which days are the best to send out emails? Perfect. Very good email, Robert, and it's right on par or right on topic with today's topic about collecting emails. There's been a little bit of a debate on when is the best time and best day to send out emails. Some say Monday, some say weekends. From my experience, sending emails out on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays have had the highest open rates, I find. I was always under the assumption that most people are not engaged online with their emails on weekends. And when Monday rolls around, people have a ton of emails in their inbox from the weekend, which means it takes them a few days to filter through the emails that are important to them. So I would say, if you're going to schedule emails, try to schedule them for midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Out of those 3 days, Thursdays have actually been tested as getting the highest open rates. So if you had to focus on just one day, I'd probably go with Thursday. The best possible times. I would say the best possible times for open rates and click-throughs would probably be between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., right when people get into work. I've also found that between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. also get some really good open rates and click-throughs as well. Some of these studies that I have read have been from my guys at GetResponse. They've analyzed over 21 million emails, and those are the times that came out the most and had the highest open rates. So if you had to put the two together, then I would suggest that you would schedule your emails for midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and have them scheduled either early in the morning or later in the afternoon, between 3 and 4 p.m. Thank you, Robert, for your email. If any of you have any questions about internet marketing that you would like me to answer, please email them to questions@omtwiredup.com, and I will do my best to answer them. Please make sure you check out my show notes for some additional resources that can help you expand your knowledge even more with the topics that I've talked about today. Thank you for listening to this session of OMT Wired Up, and I will be back next week to talk more about internet marketing strategies and how to help you make a ton of money online. See you next time.
To learn more about Ivan's online money marketing strategies or to leave a question for him, please visit omtwiredup.com. That's www.omtwiredup.com. Thanks for listening.